As dawn breaks over the African savanna, a golden haze settles across the endless grasslands. Here, every blade of grass, every shadow beneath an acacia, is shaped by the relentless contest between predator and prey. This is a world governed by instinct, where survival is a daily negotiation with fate. Yet in this ancient theatre, the expected roles sometimes blur. In rare moments, the boundaries between hunter and hunted dissolve, giving rise to alliances that seem to defy the very laws of nature. Picture a pride of lions, muscular, regal, and feared, sharing their territory with a troop of baboons whose sharp eyes and quick reflexes usually keep them far from feline danger. In this extraordinary instance, the two species coexist, their lives intertwined by a pact forged in the crucible of necessity. This was not a fleeting encounter, but a carefully maintained truce, born from a single, unforgettable act of courage and desperation. The story began when a dominant male baboon, faced with the imminent loss of his offspring to a lioness, intervened with a display of raw, self-sacrificing bravery. He placed himself between the predator and his young, baring his fangs and using his agility to distract the lioness, ultimately succumbing to her power but saving his child. This act of valor did not go unnoticed. The lions, governed by their own complex social codes, seemed to recognize the baboon's courage. In a remarkable shift, aggression gave way to tolerance, and a fragile peace began to take root. The terms of this alliance were unspoken, but unmistakable. Each species understood the risks and rewards, and both adapted their behavior to maintain the balance. The lions, ever vigilant against rivals, offered the baboons a formidable shield against their most dangerous enemy, the leopard. Leopards, masters of stealth and ambush, are notorious for preying on young baboons, but with lions nearby, the leopards kept their distance, wary of the pride's strength. In return, the baboons became silent sentinels. Their keen eyesight and elevated vantage points in the trees made them natural lookouts, able to spot distant herds and approaching threats long before the lions could. Where once their sharp, barking alarms would have sent every antelope and zebra fleeing, now the baboons held their tongues, allowing the lions to stalk their prey undetected. The baboons' vigilance transformed the savanna's natural warning system. From their high perches, they scanned the horizon, their silence signaling safety for the lions and danger for the unwary. The consequences rippled through the ecosystem. Grazers, once alerted by the baboons' cries, now grazed in false security, falling victim to the lions' sudden coordinated attacks. The balance of power shifted, and the savanna's rhythms changed. For the lions, this partnership ushered in a period of abundance. Their hunts became more successful, their cubs better fed, and their dominance over the territory more secure. The baboons, meanwhile, perched in the treetops, acted as the pride's eyes and ears. Their acute senses and elevated positions gave the lions a strategic advantage, allowing them to conserve energy and strike with precision. During the sweltering midday heat, the lions could rest in the shade, confident that their primate allies would alert them to any opportunity or threat. This energy conservation was vital in the harsh, resource-scarce environment. The baboons, too, flourished. With the lions as their guardians, they could groom, play, and forage, with a freedom rarely afforded to them in the wild. Their social bonds deepened, and their young survived in greater numbers. No longer did they live in constant fear of leopards. Mothers foraged confidently, their infants clinging to their backs, while the lion's presence kept the shadows at bay. This unlikely symbiosis was a testament to the adaptability of both species. In the face of environmental pressures, they rewrote the rules of engagement, creating a new order in the savanna. For a time, the landscape was transformed. The savanna's daily drama played out under a new script, with baboons and lions moving in cautious harmony, each benefiting from the other's strengths. But beneath the surface, tension simmered. The alliance was a delicate equilibrium, maintained only by mutual benefit and constant vigilance. Both sides watched each other warily, aware that trust in the wild is always provisional and that the cost of betrayal could be fatal. As the dry season tightened its grip, the savanna's resources dwindled. Hunger gnawed at the lions, testing the limits of their restraint. The land itself became a crucible, its cracked earth and withered grass a stark reminder of nature's unforgiving cycles. Prey grew scarce, and desperation crept into every hunt. Inevitably, the alliance faltered. The primal urge to survive overwhelmed the fragile trust, and the truce was shattered in a single violent moment. In the end, the savanna's ancient laws reasserted themselves. A hungry lion, driven by instinct, broke the pact, and the baboons scattered in terror. The brief era of cooperation ended in blood and flight, a stark reminder that in this wild land, survival always comes first, and even the most remarkable alliances are fleeting. In the animal kingdom, the lines between loyalty and betrayal blur, not because of morality, but because of the relentless demands of survival. Every action, every alliance, and every act of aggression is dictated by the harsh logic of nature. For lions, these necessary evils are woven into the very fabric of their existence. As apex predators, their survival depends on a delicate balance, one that requires both cooperation within the pride and ruthless efficiency in the hunt. The savanna is a stage where every species plays a role, and the lion's dominance is maintained not just by brute strength, but by a complex web of interactions with other animals, sometimes as allies, sometimes as adversaries. Consider the kudu antelope, grazing in apparent tranquility. Their presence is vital to the ecosystem, shaping the landscape through their feeding habits and serving as a crucial food source for predators. Yet, lurking in the tall grass, a leopard stalks, another master of stealth, whose own survival depends on the same prey. The competition between lions and leopards is fierce, each predator constantly adapting its strategies to outmaneuver the other. In ordinary circumstances, the alarm calls of baboons would echo across the plains, warning all within earshot of the lurking danger. This intricate communication network is a testament to the intelligence and adaptability of savanna species. But the savanna is rarely ordinary. When the stakes are high and survival hangs in the balance, even the most established behaviors can be subverted. In a moment of calculated silence, the baboons weigh their options. Their decision is not impulsive, but the result of a keen awareness of the shifting dynamics around them. A select few slip away, not in fear but with purpose. Their destination, the lions, whose power can be harnessed for their own protection. With subtle cues and deliberate movement, the baboons guide the lions toward the unfolding scene, orchestrating a confrontation that will alter the fate of every animal present. From their elevated vantage points, the rest of the troop watches in tense anticipation. Their silence is not indifference, but a calculated risk, an acceptance of the cost of survival. The kudu, oblivious to the machinations around them, become pawns in a larger game. Their fate is sealed not by their own actions, but by the strategic decisions of others. The lions, seizing the opportunity, launch a perfectly timed ambush. Their hunting strategy is a blend of patience, coordination, and explosive power, traits honed by generations of evolutionary pressure. Chaos erupts as the kudu scatter, their flight a desperate bid for survival. But against the combined force of lions and the cunning of their baboon collaborators, many fall. For the baboons, this act is not mere treachery. It is a calculated maneuver, a necessary evil that ensures their continued safety in a world where threats are ever present. Such incidents reveal the intricate chess game of the wild, where every move is a negotiation between risk and reward, and where survival often demands difficult choices. The baboon's alliance with the lions is a testament to the complexity of ecological relationships. By leveraging the lion's strength, they not only secure food, but also eliminate a dangerous rival. The confrontation forces the leopard to retreat, its threat neutralized for now. In this way, the baboons manipulate the balance of power, ensuring their own survival while maintaining the fragile equilibrium of the ecosystem. These actions may seem cold, even ruthless, but they are driven by necessity. In the wild, intelligence is measured not just by problem-solving, but by the ability to make hard choices. The kudu's sacrifice sustains the lions, whose presence in turn keeps the ecosystem in balance by controlling herbivore populations and shaping the landscape. In this intricate web, every species is both predator and prey, ally and adversary. The baboon's actions highlight the reality that in nature, alliances are fluid, and survival often comes at a cost. Such behavior underscores the remarkable cognitive abilities of animals like baboons, who can assess complex situations and act with foresight. Their communication is sophisticated, involving subtle signals and coordinated planning, a testament to the intelligence required to survive in such a challenging environment. The baboon's understanding of the relationships between lions, leopards, and kudu allows them to navigate the dangers of the savanna with remarkable skill. This is not mere instinct, but a demonstration of true intelligence, an ability to adapt, strategize, and survive against the odds. By exploiting their unique position in this uneasy alliance, the baboons transform peril into opportunity, showing that sometimes the path to survival is paved with necessary evils. The silent, unwavering gaze of the baboon troop is a stark reminder. In the wild, every decision carries weight, and the price of survival is often paid by another. In the intricate tapestry of the savanna, a lion pride's strength is not merely measured by muscle and fang, but by the delicate balance of its social bonds and the resources it commands. When hunger gnaws at the edges of that balance, even the most formidable alliances can unravel with astonishing speed. The pride's downfall began in the relentless grip of the dry season. As waterholes shrank and prey vanished into the shimmering heat, the lions' bodies grew gaunt, their ribs stark against sun-bleached fur. The social fabric that held the pride together, built on cooperation, trust, and the promise of shared meals, began to fray. The alliance with the baboons, once a clever adaptation to scarcity, became a source of mounting tension. The pride's social hierarchy, dominated by a coalition of males, supported by a network of related lionesses, relied on stability. But as hunger deepened, desperation overrode discipline. It was a single starving lioness, driven by the primal urge to survive, who shattered the fragile truce. Her attack on a baboon was not just an act of predation, but a spark that ignited a chain reaction. The baboon's response was immediate and ferocious. Their shrill alarm calls pierced the air, not as a warning, but as a rallying cry. The troop, united by outrage, descended in a chaotic wave, harassing the lions and sabotaging every hunt. The pride's greatest advantage, stealth and cooperation, was neutralized by the baboon's relentless vigilance. Social order within the pride began to collapse. The dominant male, once the unchallenged protector, was left isolated after a brutal coup attempt by younger nomads. His coalition, once 3 strong, was reduced to a solitary, scarred survivor. The loss of his brothers left the pride vulnerable, both to external threats and internal discord. The consequences rippled through every layer of the pride. Lionesses, the core hunters and caregivers, struggled to provide for their cubs. The young, once the hope of the pride's future, grew thin and listless. Without the protection of a strong coalition, the pride's territory shrank and rival predators pressed in at the margins. The pride's social structure, once a model of cooperation and resilience, began to disintegrate. Individuals scattered in search of food, breaking the bonds that had once ensured their survival. The lone male, exhausted by constant patrols and the burden of defense, could no longer shield his family from danger or hunger. In the end, the pride's demise was not the result of a single event but a cascade of failures, ecological, social, and strategic. The alliance with the baboons, once a lifeline, became a liability. The loss of dominant males left the pride exposed, and the relentless pressure of the dry season pushed every member to the brink. The Savanna, indifferent and eternal, reclaimed what was once the pride's domain. The bones of the fallen, bleached by the sun, served as a silent testament to the unforgiving laws of nature. In this world, power is fleeting, and survival belongs only to those who can adapt without breaking the bonds that hold them together. In the heart of Africa's wild plains, the spotted hyena stands as one of the most misunderstood and remarkable predators. Far from the caricature of a skulking scavenger, the hyena is a masterful hunter, a social strategist, and a keystone species whose presence shapes the very fabric of the savanna. Their haunting, whooping calls echo across the grasslands, weaving a tapestry of sound that is both a warning and a rallying cry. These vocalizations, often mistaken for laughter, are in fact a sophisticated language, each whoop, giggle, and grunt conveying information about identity, status, and intent within their tightly knit clans. Hyenas are not simply opportunists. They are relentless hunters, employing teamwork, endurance, and cunning to bring down prey. In the open savanna, they stalk antelope and wildebeest, using the cover of tall grass and the element of surprise to their advantage. Scientific studies in the Serengeti reveal a striking truth. Up to 95% of a hyena's diet comes from its own kills. This statistic shatters the myth of the hyena as a mere scavenger and highlights its prowess as a predator. Endurance is their greatest weapon. Hyenas can maintain speeds of 37 miles per hour over long distances, outlasting their prey in a test of stamina and willpower. This relentless pursuit often ends with the hyena's powerful jaws clamped around its quarry. Their muscular build and robust shoulders are a testament to their strength. The hyena's bite is legendary, one of the most powerful among mammals. With a bite force reaching 1,000 pounds per square inch, hyenas can shatter the densest bones, accessing the rich marrow within, nutrients that few other predators can reach. This bone-crushing ability is not just a feat of strength, it is an evolutionary advantage. By consuming every part of a carcass, hyenas leave little to waste, ensuring that energy is recycled efficiently through the ecosystem. Their unique adaptation allows them to thrive where others cannot, turning the remains of a kill into sustenance and leaving behind only the faintest trace of what once was. Socially, hyenas are unrivaled. Their clans, sometimes numbering up to 80 individuals, are complex societies governed by a strict hierarchy and led by dominant females. Females are larger, more assertive, and command respect. They lead hunts, defend territory, and ensure the survival of the clan through cooperation and discipline. This social cohesion is critical in their ongoing rivalry with lions, the only other predator on the savanna that matches their strength and cunning. A lone hyena is cautious, ever aware of the danger posed by a lion pride. But numbers shift the balance of power. When a clan gathers, their confidence grows. In a coordinated surge, they may challenge lions for a fresh kill, their calls rising in a chorus of defiance and determination. These confrontations are dramatic and often violent, with both species risking injury or death. The outcome is never certain, hinging on numbers, resolve, and the ever-shifting alliances of the wild. Such rivalries are not mere spectacles. They are ecological forces. The constant competition between hyenas and lions regulates populations, influences hunting strategies, and maintains the delicate balance of the savanna. The hyena's role extends far beyond the hunt. As apex predators and scavengers, they are nature's recyclers, ensuring that no resource is wasted. By consuming the remains left by other predators, hyenas prevent the spread of disease and return vital nutrients to the soil, supporting the cycle of life that sustains the savanna. Their hunting keeps herbivore populations in check, preventing overgrazing and allowing grasses and trees to flourish, which in turn supports countless other species. Every bone stripped clean, every carcass consumed, is a testament to the hyena's efficiency and ecological importance. The spotted hyena is not just a survivor, but a shaper of its world. A creature whose intelligence, strength, and social bonds have earned it a place at the very top of the food chain. Its so-called laugh is the anthem of survival, echoing across the plains as a reminder of the intricate, often brutal, but always fascinating dance of life on the African savanna. In the heart of the African savanna, the lion reigns as an undisputed master, its presence felt in every whisper of the wind and every trembling hoofbeat. While lions and hyenas battle for supremacy, it is the lion that commands the greatest respect, shaping the very rhythm of life across these vast grasslands. The lion's mastery is not simply a matter of brute strength, but a complex tapestry of social bonds, strategic hunting, and relentless adaptation. A pride of lions is a formidable force, a tightly knit family unit led by powerful females whose cooperation is the key to survival. Each lioness knows her role, flanking, driving, or ambushing prey with silent precision. Their hunts are masterclasses in patience and timing, often unfolding under the cover of darkness or in the cool hours of dawn, when the savanna's shadows are long and the air is thick with anticipation. The male lions, with their imposing manes and thunderous roars, are the sentinels of the pride's territory. Their roars echo for miles, a warning to rivals and a rallying call to their kin. These males patrol the boundaries, marking their domain with scent and claw, ever vigilant against intruders. Their presence alone can deter would-be challengers, and when conflict erupts, their power is unleashed in explosive displays of dominance. Territory is everything to a lion. The boundaries they defend are not just lines on a map, but lifelines, access to water, shade, and the migratory herds that sustain them. Lions adapt to the shifting fortunes of the savanna, following the movements of wildebeest, zebra, and buffalo. In times of drought, they endure long, punishing journeys, their resilience tested by hunger and heat. Yet, even in the harshest seasons, the pride's unity gives them an edge over solitary hunters. Adaptation is woven into every aspect of a lion's life. Their tawny coats blend seamlessly with the sun-bleached grasses, while their keen senses, sight, smell, and hearing, allow them to detect the faintest sign of prey or danger. Cubs are born into a world of constant peril, but under the watchful eyes of the pride, they learn the skills of survival, stalking, pouncing, and the subtle art of reading the savanna's moods. The lion's dominance is not without challenge. Hyenas, leopards, and even the mighty buffalo test their supremacy, and the balance of power is in constant flux. Yet it is the lion's ability to adapt, to cooperate, and to defend what is theirs that secures their place at the top of the food chain. Every hunt, every roar, every sunrise patrol is a testament to the lion's mastery of this wild domain. They are not just hunters, but stewards of the savanna, shaping the lives of countless other species through their presence and their power. In the endless dance of predator and prey, the lion stands as a symbol of strength, resilience, and the enduring spirit of Africa's untamed heart. Nowhere is the drama of survival more epic than during the Great Migration across the Serengeti. This annual event is not just a spectacle of movement, it is the very heartbeat of the savanna, a force that shapes the destinies of predator and prey alike. This is, without exaggeration, one of the planet's last great terrestrial wildlife movements, a relentless, circular pilgrimage of over 1 million wildebeest, accompanied by hundreds of thousands of zebras and gazelles, all driven by the primal need to survive. Their journey is not a matter of choice, but of necessity, an endless search for fresh grazing and water. dictated by the rhythm of the seasonal rains. This colossal river of life flows across the plains, but the journey is fraught with peril at every turn. For the lions, the migration is both an opportunity and a challenge. Predators like lions, cheetahs, and hyenas shadow the herds, their senses sharpened by hunger and instinct. They pick off the weak, the old, and the unwary, each kill a testament to the harsh realities of life on the savanna. The constant threat keeps the herds on high alert, a sea of nervous energy rippling through the grasslands. The most legendary and dangerous obstacle in their path is the crossing of the Mara River, a gauntlet that tests every instinct for survival. As the herds mass on the banks, a palpable tension builds. The air is thick with anticipation and fear. They know the water hides a deadly threat, but the instinct to follow the rains and find fresh pasture is too powerful to resist. The danger they face is the Nile crocodile, an ancient reptile that can grow to over 16 feet long, perfectly adapted for ambush. These prehistoric predators lie in wait, often submerged with only their eyes and nostrils visible above the surface, patient and motionless. They are masters of patience, capable of waiting for hours or even days for the perfect moment to strike. Their power is explosive and, frankly, terrifying. One snap of their jaws can end a life in an instant. When the first wildebeest takes the plunge, it triggers a stampede of panic and desperation, a surge of bodies into the churning water. The river becomes a churning cauldron of flailing limbs and terrified animals, each one fighting for its life. This is when the crocodiles attack, seizing the chaos as their moment to strike. With a bite force that snaps shut at nearly 40 feet per second, they can seize a full-grown zebra or wildebeest and drag it beneath the surface in a matter of moments. The chaos of the crossing is their greatest advantage, as the struggling animals cannot effectively defend themselves. For the crocodiles, this annual event is a crucial feast that can sustain them for months. For the migrating herds, it is the deadliest lottery on Earth, where a single misstep means certain death. Those that survive the river crossing are not yet safe. Exhaustion and confusion leave them vulnerable on the far bank. Separated from the herd, soaked and disoriented, many calves and adults become easy targets. Lions and hyenas patrol the opposite bank, waiting to ambush the survivors as they clamber out of the water. For lions, the migration is a time of abundance, but also of fierce competition. The sudden influx of prey means more hunting opportunities, but it also brings challenges. The herds are massive, and the chaos of the crossing can scatter prey, making coordinated hunts more difficult for lion prides. The animals risk everything: exhaustion, starvation, and predation on the promise of life-giving grass and water on the other side. For lions, the migration is a double-edged sword. While food is plentiful, the sheer number of prey can overwhelm and scatter, forcing lions to adapt their hunting strategies. The Great Migration is a powerful illustration of the brutal trade-offs required for survival. It is a journey of immense loss, but it is also the journey that sustains the entire ecosystem. As the herds move, they fertilize the plains, their remains feed the predators, and the cycle of life and death continues. For lions, the migration is a time of both feast and fierce rivalry, shaping the health and future of prides. The migration's impact ripples outward, supporting not just the predators, but every living thing on the savanna, ensuring the great cycle endures for another year. In the grand theatre of the savanna, every life and death is part of a complex, interconnected story. When a hunt concludes or an animal succumbs to natural causes, the final act is not one of silence, but of transformation, ushered in by the savanna's indispensable scavengers. These creatures are far more than mere opportunists. They are the ecosystem's master recyclers, ensuring that nothing is wasted and that the savanna remains vibrant and healthy. Vultures, with their keen senses and tireless vigilance, are the first to arrive at the scene. Their presence signals the beginning of a vital process, one that will ripple through the entire ecosystem. Riding the invisible currents high above the plains, vultures scan the landscape from thousands of feet in the air. Their extraordinary vision allows them to detect the faintest glimmer of a carcass long before any other animal is aware. With eyesight several times sharper than a human's, they can spot a meal from miles away, making them the savanna's most efficient scouts. The descent of a single vulture is a signal that echoes across the plains. Within minutes, dozens more arrive, each drawn by the promise of sustenance and the unspoken call of their kin. Every aspect of the vulture's anatomy is a testament to its role. Their powerful beaks tear through tough hide, while their long, featherless necks reach deep into the remains, extracting every last morsel. The absence of feathers on their heads and necks is no accident. It is a perfect adaptation, keeping them clean as they feed and reducing the risk of infection from the blood and fluids of their meals. After feeding, vultures meticulously clean themselves, further minimizing the threat of disease and ensuring they are ready for the next call to action. Yet, their most remarkable adaptation lies within. Their stomachs are cauldrons of acid, capable of dissolving even the most dangerous pathogens. Vultures can safely consume meat riddled with bacteria and toxins that would kill almost any other animal. In doing so, they neutralize threats like anthrax and botulism, acting as a living shield for the entire savanna. Their work is relentless and thorough. By the time they are finished, little remains but bone, and the risk of disease has been all but erased. But the story does not end with the vultures. On the ground, a new cast of characters emerges, each with a unique role to play in the cycle of life and death. Spotted hyenas, with their immense strength and bone-crushing jaws, arrive to finish what the birds began. They devour what others cannot, shattering bones to access the rich marrow within. Jackals, ever watchful and quick, dart in and out, snatching scraps and fragments. Their agility and cunning ensure that even the smallest pieces are not left to rot. Even the mighty lions, kings of the savanna, are not above joining this gathering. When hunger calls or opportunity arises, they will return to a kill, sometimes their own, sometimes another's, reclaiming what remains and asserting their dominance among the scavengers. This intricate dance between lions, hyenas, jackals, and vultures ensures that every ounce of energy is returned to the ecosystem. Nothing is wasted. Every nutrient is recycled, feeding the grasses and, in turn, the herds that roam the plains. The efficiency of this natural cleanup crew is astonishing. Their cooperation, sometimes tense, sometimes harmonious, maintains the delicate balance that allows the savanna to thrive. Without these scavengers, the landscape would quickly become a graveyard of decay. Disease would spread unchecked, threatening every creature, from the smallest insect to the most powerful predator. Yet this vital system is under threat. Vultures, including the majestic Ripple's griffon, are now critically endangered, victims of poisoning and habitat loss. Their absence would leave a void that no other animal could fill. The disappearance of these master recyclers would send shockwaves through the ecosystem, leading to outbreaks of disease and the collapse of the intricate web of life. The decline of scavengers is a silent crisis, one that threatens not only the health of the savanna, but the very survival of its most iconic inhabitants, including the lions themselves. In this world, every role is essential, and the loss of even one can unravel the tapestry of life. Across the endless expanse of the African savanna, every creature is a living testament to the power of adaptation. Here, survival is not a matter of chance, but the result of countless generations shaped by the relentless forces of evolution. Each animal, from the smallest insect to the mightiest predator, is equipped with a unique set of tools, refined, tested, and perfected for life in this demanding environment. The giraffe, towering above the plains, is a marvel of evolutionary engineering. Its extraordinary height allows it to browse leaves untouched by other herbivores and to scan the horizon for distant threats. Yet this advantage comes with a cost. Each time a giraffe lowers its head to drink, it faces a perilous drop in blood pressure, risking unconsciousness or worse. To overcome this, the giraffe's body is equipped with a sophisticated network of valves and elastic blood vessels, allowing it to regulate the immense pressure changes as it moves its head up and down. Its heart, weighing up to 24 pounds, pumps blood with tremendous force, while specialized capillaries in the brain act as a buffer, preventing sudden surges that could cause damage. This is adaptation at its most intricate, a solution honed by millions of years of natural selection. For the herbivores of the plains, survival is a game of vigilance and speed. Wildebeest, gazelles, and antelope form large herds, their safety rooted in numbers and the sharp eyes of many. Thompson's and Grant's gazelles are built for flight. Their slender bodies and powerful legs allow them to reach astonishing speeds, zigzagging across the grasslands to evade the world's fastest predators. Grant's gazelles, in particular, have evolved to thrive in the harshest conditions. They can survive for weeks without direct access to water, extracting every drop of moisture from the arid vegetation they consume. The springbok, another agile antelope, displays a remarkable behavior known as pronking, leaping high into the air with stiff legs and an arched back. This dramatic display is more than a spectacle. It signals strength and vitality to predators, deterring pursuit, while simultaneously warning the herd of imminent danger. Every animal here is a specialist, equipped with adaptations that reflect its ecological role. Horns for defense, hooves for speed, fur for camouflage. Each feature is a product of evolutionary trial and error. The warthog, with its formidable tusks, is both a fighter and a survivor. It excavates deep burrows to escape the midday heat and evade predators, retreating underground at the first sign of danger. Zebras, with their iconic stripes, have long puzzled scientists. Recent research suggests these patterns serve multiple functions, confusing predators during a chase, deterring biting insects, and helping individuals recognize one another within the herd. No two zebras share the same pattern. Each set of stripes is as unique as a fingerprint, a living barcode that distinguishes one animal from the next. These are not random traits, but the result of relentless selection, purpose-built designs for survival in a world of constant challenge. Each adaptation tells a story of struggle and triumph, of species finding their place in a complex web of life. From the springbok's leap to the giraffe's towering neck, nature's ingenuity is revealed in every movement, every heartbeat. These adaptations allow a multitude of species to coexist, each exploiting a different niche, feeding on different plants, using unique strategies to avoid danger, and ensuring the survival of their kind. But among all these remarkable survivors, the lion stands apart, a master of adaptation and ecological strategy. Lions are the only truly social big cats, living in prides that offer both protection and hunting advantages. Their cooperative strategies allow them to take down prey much larger than themselves, while their social bonds ensure the survival of cubs and the defense of territory. Lionesses, the primary hunters, move with silent precision, using the cover of grass and the element of surprise. Their teamwork is a product of evolutionary necessity, maximizing the pride's success in a landscape where prey is swift and vigilant. Male lions, with their imposing manes, are built for confrontation. Their role is to defend the pride from rivals and intruders, their deep roars echoing across the plains as both a warning and a declaration of dominance. Even the youngest lions are shaped by adaptation. Cubs learn through play, honing the skills they will need to survive, stalking, pouncing, and working together as a unit. The lion's place at the top of the food chain is not guaranteed. Every hunt is a test of strategy and strength, and every meal is hard won. Their survival depends on the delicate balance of cooperation, competition, and the ever-changing rhythms of the savanna. In this intricate ecosystem, every animal is both hunter and hunted, competitor and collaborator. Their adaptations are the legacy of ancient struggles, written into muscle, bone, and instinct. The savanna is a living laboratory of evolution, where survival is the ultimate test and every adaptation is a story of resilience. Here, life endures, shaped by the land, the climate, and the unending dance between predator and prey. Across the endless golden plains of the African savanna, the universal rules of life are written in every blade of grass, every wary glance, and every silent footfall. Here, survival is a daily test, governed by three unyielding imperatives: find food, avoid becoming food, and ensure the continuation of your lineage. These rules shape every moment, from the first rays of dawn to the hush of twilight. The savanna is a mosaic of opportunity and danger, where each species has carved out a niche, adapting to the rhythms of drought and rain, feast and famine. For lions, the apex predators of this realm, survival is a family affair. The pride is a finely tuned social unit, each member playing a role: lionesses as hunters and guardians, males as defenders, cubs as the future. The hunt is a masterclass in patience and precision. Lionesses move as one, communicating with subtle glances and flicks of their tails, using the cover of grass and the angle of the wind to approach their quarry undetected. Prey animals, ever alert, rely on keen senses and the safety of numbers. A single misstep, a moment's distraction, can mean the difference between life and death. When the moment comes, the pride strikes with breathtaking speed and coordination. The chase is short, brutal, and decisive. Only the swiftest and strongest survive, ensuring that the herd remains healthy and resilient. After the hunt, the pride gathers to feed, a ritual that reinforces bonds and teaches the young the harsh realities of the world. Around them, scavengers wait for their turn, each species playing its part in the cycle of life and death. For male lions, the rules are even more unforgiving. To hold territory is to hold the future. They must constantly defend their domain from rivals, their roars echoing across the plains as both warning and challenge. Battles for dominance are fierce and often bloody. Only the strongest males earn the right to mate, passing on their genes and shaping the next generation. Lionesses, meanwhile, nurture the pride's future in secluded dens, fiercely protective of their cubs. The survival of the young depends on the unity and vigilance of the group. The savanna is a web of interdependence. Lions shape the behavior of herbivores, who in turn influence the landscape, grazing patterns, and the very growth of the grasslands. Even after death, every creature contributes. Scavengers and decomposers recycle nutrients, ensuring the land remains fertile and life continues. In moments of calm, the pride rests, conserving energy for the next challenge. Yet even in repose, vigilance is never abandoned. Danger can come at any time, from rival predators or the shifting fortunes of the wild. The environment itself is a force to be reckoned with. Droughts test endurance, storms bring renewal and peril, and the changing seasons dictate the rhythm of life. The great migrations bring abundance and opportunity, but also fierce competition. Lions must adapt, learning the patterns of their prey and the secrets of the land. Through it all, the universal rules remain unchanged. Every decision, every action is a response to the demands of survival, shaped by millennia of evolution and the relentless pressures of the wild. In this intricate dance, lions are both rulers and participants, their fate entwined with every creature that shares their world. The savanna endures, a living testament to the power and beauty of nature's universal laws. In the heart of the savanna, beneath the shelter of tangled thickets and shaded rocky outcrops, a new generation of lions takes its first trembling steps into the world. Lion cubs, born blind and helpless, arrive in litters of 2 to 4, each weighing barely 3 pounds, fragile sparks of life in a landscape ruled by unforgiving forces. For the first weeks, their world is small and secret. The den is a sanctuary, carefully chosen by their mother, hidden from prowling hyenas, leopards, and even the prying eyes of rival lions. Here, the cubs rely entirely on her. Her milk is their only sustenance, rich with the nutrients they need to grow strong and resilient. As their eyes open and vision sharpens, curiosity stirs, the cubs begin to explore, clambering over each other, pouncing on tails, and wrestling in mock battles that will one day serve them well. Every tumble and playful swipe is a lesson, honing reflexes, building strength, and forging the bonds of siblinghood that may one day mean the difference between life and death. But the den is not without peril. The mother must leave her cubs alone for hours at a time as she rejoins the pride to hunt. In her absence, silence is their shield. Any sound could draw unwanted attention. The cubs instinctively huddle together, their tawny coats blending with the earth and shadows, relying on camouflage and stillness to evade danger. When the time is right, usually after 6 to 8 weeks, the mother introduces her cubs to the pride. This is a critical transition. The pride offers protection and social structure, but also new risks. Older lions, particularly unfamiliar males, can pose a threat. Acceptance is not guaranteed. The mother's vigilance is unrelenting, her body language fierce and defensive as she ushers her young into the group. Within the pride, the cubs learn by watching and imitating. They stalk insects, chase after fluttering birds, and mimic the hunting postures of the adults. Play becomes practice, their skills sharpening with each passing day. The lionesses' aunts and sisters tolerate these antics, sometimes joining in, sometimes enforcing discipline with a gentle cuff or a warning growl. Survival is a daily challenge. Disease, drought, and predation claim many before they reach their first year. Only half will live to see adulthood, yet those who survive are tempered by adversity. They learn to read the subtle cues of the savanna, the scent of danger on the wind, the rustle of grass beneath a predator's paw, the meaning of every call and growl within the pride. As months pass, milk gives way to meat. The cubs join the pride at kills, learning the social hierarchy at the feast, the pecking order that governs who eats first and who waits. Scarcity teaches patience and sometimes hunger. Through it all the cubs grow, muscles strengthening, senses sharpening, instincts awakening. By their first year the cubs are no longer the fragile creatures of the den. They are agile, alert, and increasingly independent, ready to face the ever-shifting challenges of the savanna. Their journey has only just begun, but every lesson learned, every obstacle overcome, brings them closer to the day when they too will shape the fate of the pride. In the relentless crucible of the wild, the early lives of lion cubs are a testament to both the vulnerability and resilience of life, a delicate balance that ensures the legacy of the lion endures generation after generation. As the blazing sun slips beneath the horizon and the heat of the day fades, the savanna transforms. Nightfall brings a new cast of characters and a different rhythm of life, one dictated by darkness and the subtle language of survival. For lions, the night is an ally. Their eyes, equipped with a reflective layer called the tapetum lucidum, catch and amplify the faintest glimmers of starlight, granting them vision 6 times more sensitive than that of their prey. As the sky deepens to indigo, the pride stirs. Lions become restless, stretching and yawning, their low rumbles rolling across the cool air, a chorus that serves as both a greeting and a warning. The hunt begins under the cover of shadows. Lionesses fan out, their tawny coats melting into the darkness, moving with silent precision. They communicate in hushed tones, soft grunts and tail flicks, a subtle choreography that coordinates the approach. Prey animals, such as zebra and wildebeest, bunch together in tight groups, ever watchful. Their ears swivel, catching the faintest sound, their nostrils flaring for any hint of a predator's scent. Elsewhere, the savanna pulses with life. Hyenas, masters of nocturnal adaptation, patrol the periphery, their haunting whoops echoing across the plains. They listen for the commotion of a lion kill or the desperate cries of wounded prey. Leopards, solitary and elusive, slink through the underbrush, relying on stealth and patience, their spotted coats perfectly camouflaged among the moonlit branches. Small mammals emerge from burrows, seizing the opportunity to forage under the relative safety of darkness. Aardvarks dig for termites, while spring hares bound through the grass. Nightjars and owls take to the sky, hunting insects and rodents with pinpoint accuracy, guided by exceptional hearing and night vision. Communication is constant, but it shifts in form. Lions call to one another across vast distances, their roars carrying up to 5 miles, a declaration of territory and strength. Prey animals rely on subtle signals, a sudden freeze, the flick of a tail, or the alarm snort of an impala warning the herd of unseen threats. Adaptation is the key to survival in this nocturnal world. Predators exploit the darkness to stalk and ambush. Prey sharpen their senses and huddle for safety. The temperature drops, and the wind carries new scents, reshuffling the delicate balance between hunter and hunted. As the hours pass, the savanna becomes a tapestry of movement and sound. Every animal, from the smallest mouse to the largest elephant, plays a role in this intricate nighttime drama. For some, the darkness brings opportunity. For others, it is a gauntlet of dangers to be navigated until the first hint of dawn. In the heart of the night, the savanna is alive with the primal dance of life and death, a world where every sense is heightened, every decision matters, and the ancient struggle for survival continues beneath the silent gaze of the stars. In the heart of the savanna, the true power of the lion pride lies not only in strength, but in connection. Lions are among the most social of all big cats, and their survival hinges on a complex tapestry of communication and cooperation. A pride's day begins and ends with greetings, nuzzling faces, rubbing heads, and entwining tails. These gestures, called allogrooming and head-rubbing, reinforce social bonds and distribute the scent unique to each group. This communal scent acts as an olfactory signature, a silent flag that marks the pride's territory and unites its members. Vocalizations form a rich and varied language. The thunderous roar, heard up to 5 miles away, is both a rallying cry and a warning, announcing presence, defending territory, and coordinating movements across vast distances. Softer sounds like grunts, moans, and meows maintain contact during hunts or signal comfort and reassurance within the pride. Cubs practice these calls from a young age, learning the subtle differences that distinguish a call for help from a playful greeting. Scent marking is another crucial form of communication. Male lions patrol the boundaries of their domain, spraying urine on bushes and trees, their scent laced with pheromones that convey information about identity, health, and reproductive status. These chemical messages warn rivals and reassure pride members, creating invisible borders that are fiercely defended. Cooperation is the pride's greatest strength. During hunts, lionesses coordinate with remarkable precision, each taking a role, whether driving prey toward an ambush or flanking the herd. They rely on silent cues, a flick of the tail, a subtle shift in posture, or the alignment of ears. This unspoken teamwork allows them to bring down prey much larger than any one lion could tackle alone. Within the pride, hierarchy is fluid but respected. Older lionesses often lead, their experience guiding the group's movements and strategies. Youngsters learn by watching and imitating, absorbing the unwritten rules that hold the pride together. Disagreements are resolved through posturing and gentle swats, rarely escalating to violence. At dusk, as the pride gathers, their shared rituals reaffirm unity. They rest in close contact, exchanging licks and soft purrs, the bonds of family renewed with every touch and sound. In this world, survival depends not just on power, but on understanding, on the intricate, ever-evolving language of the pride. Across the vast savanna, the rhythm of life is dictated by the elements. For lions and their prey, survival is a dance choreographed by the changing seasons, each bringing challenges and opportunities that demand adaptation. As the dry season tightens its grip, waterholes shrink and grasses wither to brittle straw. Prey animals, zebra, wildebeest, and antelope must abandon their usual grazing grounds, journeying in search of dwindling water and greener pastures. These migrations are perilous, forcing herds across open plains where cover is scarce and every movement is watched. Lions, too, must adapt. The pride follows the migrations, their territories stretching and shifting with the herds. Hunting becomes both easier and more urgent. Prey are weakened by thirst and exhaustion, but competition with rival predators intensifies. Days grow hotter and the lions rest in the shade, conserving energy for dusk and dawn, when the air cools and the savanna stirs. Sudden storms mark the turning of the seasons. The first rains are both relief and upheaval, transforming the parched earth into a sea of green almost overnight. Prey animals grow stronger, scattering as food and water become plentiful once again. For lions, the abundance means more cautious hunting. Prey are alert and fast, and the pride must rely on patience, teamwork, and the cover of thickening grass. New challenges arise with the rains. Flooded rivers carve barriers across the land, isolating prides and testing their resilience. Cubs must learn to navigate mud and swollen streams, while adults patrol ever-shifting boundaries. Disease and parasites thrive in the humid air, adding invisible threats to the daily struggle. Yet through drought and deluge, the savanna's inhabitants endure. Lions adjust their movements, sharpen their senses, and refine their strategies with each passing season. The delicate balance of life and death is shaped by the skies above and the earth below, a testament to the power of adaptation in a world ruled by weather. In this endless cycle, every storm, every dry wind, and every dawn brings new lessons. For lions and their prey, survival is never guaranteed, but it is always possible for those who learn to move with the changing seasons. The sun rises over the savanna, illuminating a landscape that has witnessed the triumphs and trials of lions for millennia. Yet, beneath this golden light, the future of these majestic predators hangs in a precarious balance. Across Africa, lion populations have dwindled, their territories shrinking as grasslands give way to farmland, and ancient migration routes are severed by roads and settlements. Prey animals, once plentiful, now compete for space and resources with livestock. The silent encroachment of humanity is felt in every corner of the wild, challenging the very foundation of the ecosystem. But in this struggle, hope persists. Conservation efforts stretch across continents, guided by a profound understanding. Protecting lions means preserving the intricate web of life that supports the savanna itself. Innovative strategies emerge, protected reserves are established, corridors reconnect fragmented habitats, and anti-poaching patrols stand vigilant against illegal hunting. Scientists track prides using satellite collars, gathering vital data to inform future decisions, while community-led initiatives foster coexistence between people and predators. Yet challenges remain. Climate change brings unpredictable rains and prolonged droughts, altering the delicate balance of water and food. Disease outbreaks threaten both lions and their prey, while genetic isolation looms as populations become more fragmented. Each challenge demands adaptation, not just from the lions, but from all who strive to safeguard their future. The importance of these efforts cannot be overstated. Lions are more than apex predators. They are keystone species, shaping the landscape and maintaining the health of the savanna. Their presence ensures balance, controlling herbivore populations and allowing grasslands to flourish. When lions thrive, so too does the multitude of life that depends on this vast and ancient wilderness. In the end, the fate of lions is inseparable from the fate of the wild itself. As guardians of the savanna, their survival is a call to action, a reminder that the story of the lion is, in truth, the story of us all. The choices made today will echo across generations, determining whether future dawns will still be greeted by the powerful roar of the king of beasts.